A strange and difficult year. Lawsuits to the Trump campaign and battling price gouging at the beginning of the pandemic. Today, the AG sat down with Fox 17 to talk about the year that was and the year that's ahead. Julie Dunmire joining us now. Julie?
Derek, it was an incredibly stressful year for Dana Nessel. She tells me that she plans to spend today, like many of us, at home with her family, watching some Netflix. But she says this year by far has had legal challenges that no one could predict.
I've never worked so hard and left my house so little.
The hard work began as soon as COVID hit Michigan. State Attorney General Dana Nessel saying her to-do list this year never ended.
And I will say the election stuff was pretty insane. I mean, we defended, dozens of lawsuits involving the election.
While also handling issues like should guns be allowed at the Capitol building, price gouging during the pandemic, the plot to kidnap the governor, and controversy over Whitmer's executive power.
Obviously, there were a slew of executive orders that came from the governor's office. Not something we would ordinarily ever see, but for this state of emergency, but for these very extreme sets of circumstances where now we've had, well over 10,000 people who have lost their lives in our state.
Which brought legal action against Whitmer by Republicans who claimed she didn't have the authority to maintain executive power through an act created in the 1940s.
Until we got to the Michigan Supreme Court, was there a 4-3 decision that the act itself was unconstitutional. Not that the governor had used her authority improperly, just that the act under which she exercised that authority was unconstitutional. Now, I didn't agree with that decision, although I respect it. But I think it made things much less safe in Michigan, and it made her job a lot harder.
With a new horizon coming, Nessel says there's work to be done. A shift in the state Supreme Court's makeup could give Democrats more wins in 2021. But Nessel says that doesn't matter to her.
I'm a big proponent of, nonpartisanship across the courts.
Saying this year, of all things, we are reminded the importance of an impartial court system, especially in the lawsuits the Trump campaign brought against the state.
Properly in Michigan, they lost all of their cases. They lost them all, whether they were filed in state court or federal court, and whether the judges were appointed or ran as Republicans or Democrats. They lost all of them. And to me, that's where you see integrity in the courts.
Saying for the future, she, like the rest of the country, does not want another 2020. But this year allows us to be ready for the worst.
We have to prepare for this set of circumstances to happen again, but for us to do a better job next time.
And Attorney General Dana Nessel was also telling me anecdotally that the executive order power is one that in certain circumstances was necessary this year, in her opinion. She was talking about the closing of the bars just before St. Patrick's Day, and based on what they were seeing in East Lansing area, noticing that that was going to become a problem if they didn't act sooner. And she was saying, a bill in the legislature can take up to 5 days, and they believe that because of their immediate action in that situation, that they did save lives. But again, just an incredibly chaotic year. Reporting live, Julie Dunmire, Fox 17 News.
All right, Julie, thank you.